Hey guys, hope you're doing well. I hope everybody's summer is off to a good start. Just came back from a long vacation up north at a friend's cottage. Caught some really decent sized fish while I was up there. If you get the chance to go fishing, kayaking, canoeing, camping, whatever, I highly recommend it. It is very fun and relaxing. But you're probably not here for me rambling off, so let's get into the beginner guide. So I just want to run down a brief description of your job. So basically, pretty simple: destroy enemy tanks, support the infantry, and do recon. There are 4 types of tanks in Squad 44. Light tanks, medium tanks, heavy tanks, and tank destroyers. Light tanks are very fast, very nimble, and primarily designed for reconnaissance and infantry support. With their very weak gun and not a lot of armor, they're terrible at tank-on-tank fighting. Medium tanks are probably my favorite just because they offer a mix of everything: mobility, armor, firepower, and they can engage tanks and infantry. Heavy tanks are basically like bunkers on tracks. They have very thick armor, very powerful cannons. They are designed to engage and destroy heavily armored vehicles like tanks and fortifications, but with all that firepower and with all that armor, you are very slow. It takes one rocket to disable your tracks, and that could be game over. Tank destroyers are specialized vehicles designed specifically to engage and destroy enemy tanks. They're mostly equipped with powerful guns, but may lack versatility of other types of tanks. A lot of weaknesses in tank destroyers that they have very limited armor. A lot of tank destroyers do have fixed guns, which means that in order to aim something, you have to rotate the tank in order to engage that target. Now let's talk about roles. There's only 4 roles inside of a tank. There's the driver, gunner, hull gunner, and commander. So this is the driver position. So on the bottom left of the screen, you can see a lot of little gadgets and signs and stuff. So first sign, the smoke launcher. Some tanks will have it, some tanks will not. You'll have to set a keybind for it. It's not automatically assigned. To the left of it, there is the gear sign and then the parking brake sign. To turn off parking brake, it's spacebar. And the gear to go up and go down, it is E to go up and Q to go down. You want to make sure that the RPMs are full right to the red zone. This will make easier for driving and turning. Next, this is your throttle. This limits the amount of power that you put in the engine. You can hold S or W to accelerate or S to decrease the throttle. You can also double tap W and S and instantly throttle up or throttle down. Now, moving on to the damage system. So Squad 44 has a pretty detailed damage system in the game. So there's the component system and the hull damage system. So you got 6 components, pretty much 8 if you're counting the tracks, but they don't really count. So you got the turret ring, the cannon, you got the ammo rack, fuel tanks, transmission, engine. If you knock out 3 of them, you can disable a tank and completely destroy it. You'll know when a component is damaged if it turns red or orange or black. That goes as same with the tank hull. In the middle of the clock, it will turn orange or yellow. Now, switch off to the gunner position. I forgot to tell you guys this at first, but every seat, doesn't matter where you're using the tank, you can switch your view on the tank. So using the scroll wheel, you can look at different positions inside the tank. Some tanks do have periscopes that can move and cannot, and you can control them by using left control and middle mouse button. Now let's talk about the shells, or the different types of shells in Squad 44. So probably the most 3 types of common shells that you'll be using is the APCBC, APCR, and HE. I get a lot of questions while I'm the commander or in comments of my YouTube videos. People ask me what is the best round to use, but it depends on situations. APCBC, basically what it is a solid AP round with a explosive filler behind it, so when it penetrates the tank, it explodes. But APCR though, it has way more penetration, but it doesn't have that explosive filler. But APCR is more prone for ricochets. So right now, I'm in my Tiger 1 and I got this Puma in front of me. And I'm shooting APCBC at him. And you can see that I shot, but it didn't do nothing. And the reason why is that it has a little front armor plate in front of it. And the rounds are paying and exploding. And that's one of the downsides of APCBC, that when it hits armor, it immediately explodes. So make sure when you're shooting APCBC, there's no tracks, wood, or any materials that's on the outside of the tank that may disrupt the shell, because that one shot can make a difference. So overview, if you're going to use APCBC, mostly damaging components and crew members. If you're going to use APCR, you're going to want to specifically aim for a weak spot, like the turret ring, ammo rack, engine, transmission, specific parts. You also got heat and HE. HE is just pretty simple. It's high explosive and it's used for light vehicles like trucks and infantry. And heat is basically a giant bazooka warhead. That's probably the best I could explain it. It doesn't have, the velocity is not big. It doesn't go very fast. It doesn't lose any penetration. It is very prone of ricocheting, I think more than the APCR. So it's probably the worst round that you have. You move the turret by W, A, S, and D. You can also control the sensitivity by using left control and mouse wheel. It really helps a lot when you're trying to engage those far targets. You can also press X and mouse wheel to change the range of your scope. So the third seat, the hull gunner, you're equipped with one machine gun. Usually the crewmate or the hull gunner is usually probably the first one to get out if the tank is damaged, like if the tracks get knocked out or the engine is destroyed. A lot of people underestimate this role. It is very good at suppressing enemies. Operating two machine guns in a tank really helps. The final role is the tank commander. As a commander, you got to lead the crew, navigate and position correctly, look for targets, talking to other tank squads and infantry squads, and making tactical decisions like to retreat or to advance. Most tanks in Squadron 44 do have a 360 view in the commander position. Commanders do get a scope to look out, visualizing tanks at a far range. You can also pop your head out in two positions, one very low. You can move your head just a bit, but not too much. And then the other second position, you're raised a bit more and you can look even further, but your whole body is sticking out, so you're more chances to get shot. Your greatest threat is probably going to be anti-tank weapons like the Panzerschreck, Panzerfaust, the bazooka, and the Piat. You're also going to have to worry about sappers. They do have satchel charges and magnetic mines. The magnetic mines can attach to your tank anywhere, basically, and could knock out an engine, a track, your transmission. So always try to keep moving. Strategies and tactics. Positioning your tank is probably one of the most important things that you can do. Using cover, trees to hide your position. One of my favorite tactics to use is called the hold down position, where the tank is only visible from the turret. Also, ambushes are a great way to kill tanks. Usually I like to set up on a intersection or a main road. If you are going to do an ambush, try to get like a tank destroyer or maybe a Stug. Stugs are very small, have a very low profile, and have decent guns. Few of the downsides of ambushes that you're staying still for long periods of time, and who knows, maybe a commander will spot you and drop a mosquito or a Stuka on your position. Also, flanking is a great way to get behind the tank where the weak armor is. By tagging it from the rear or from the side, it'll make it much easier for you guys to neutralize the threat. A lot of times that I see is tank squads overextend, not being around friendly infantry, or being too close to the objective. If my team does need help, usually I stay a bit further back from them, and I like to lob shells or HE shells at the point and just pick off the enemy infantry. Also, learn the layout of the maps in Squadron 44. Knowing where the good ambush positions are, knowing where the high ground is, so maybe you can get a hold down position. Have a mic. It is pretty much essential to have a mic in this game. If you do have a mic, you can't talk to your squad mates, other squads, the people around you. It makes the whole experience for everybody much easier if you have one. Probably the best advice I can give you is just to have fun. You're probably going to be dying a lot, so try to learn from your mistakes. Also, if you have maybe like a group of buddies that play this game, try to hop on a server, get a tank squad, try to play maybe every weekend or something like that. After a couple of weeks or months, you guys are going to get experience with your roles. Everybody's going to know what they're doing, and it's going to be clockwork. Well, that is it, guys. I hope you learned something out of this video. I really appreciate you sticking around at the end of the video. I'm trying to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so if you can hit that subscribe button, that would be awesome. And if I did miss anything, please let me know down in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys next time.